Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in. Winning cures everything. It is the Thursday, May 14th edition of the show. I'm Gary.
I'm Chris.
And I feel significantly better today than I did yesterday.
Attaboy.
I can keep water down now, so I've had about 3 of these bad boys here. Feeling good. The Brown Yeti jumps in on YouTube already, said what's up. If you are a first-timer, go check out the website, winningcureseverything.com. Everything is over there. Picks, previews, podcasts, videos, social media platforms. Still working on the new one. Going to have it up soon. But I do feel good about it. And I think you will all be pleased with the progress that I have made once it gets posted. So you can subscribe at any of the different locations where you are watching or listening, whether it be podcast or video. We're on Periscope Live. We are on YouTube Live. We're on Twitch Live. And we are on, which one did I miss? Facebook Live. So, and we've already got somebody from YouTube, from Twitch, and from Facebook that have all jumped in on the chat. If you would like to chat today, jump on in. It's right there in the bottom left of your screen. Any platform that you jump in on, it's going to hop up right there so that you can see what everybody else is saying. Matt is here, McKinnon is here, Michael is here, and the Brown Yeti is here already. Everybody is firing in. We appreciate you guys for being here today. We are talking a little Major League Baseball today. We are talking the state of Florida, and we're going to talk about the Browns and something that happened a couple of years ago or did not happen that was maybe close to. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it one way or another. First things first, though, let's dive into the first topic. Chris, Blake Snell is not helping Major League Baseball fan sport. If he thought this would, like, if he thought anybody was going to side with him on this, I don't know. As Michael already jumped in and said, Gary beat that Rona. Yeah, this was not the Rona. This was, if the Rona is that, I can understand staying at home all the time. But I don't know what the Rona is, so who knows? But yeah, and so Blake Snell, Jared Carabas, who does a baseball show for Barstool Sports, tweeted this and said, Blake Snell saying what a lot of other players are thinking right now. I agree with him 1,000%, and I'd feel the same exact way if I were in his position. Good for him for saying it. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. So he uses some words that we try not to use so much on here, but we're going to toss it out there. So we'll let you listen to it. You can decide for yourselves.
No, I'm not splitting no revenue. I want all mine. Bro, y'all gotta understand too, because y'all gonna be like, bro, Blake, play for the love of the game, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Money should not be a thing. Bro, I'm risking my life. What do you mean it should not be a thing? It 100% should be a thing. If I'm gonna play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. I should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half, on top of a 33% cut of the half that's already there. So I'm really getting like 25%. On top of that, it's getting taxed. So imagine how much I'm actually making to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't making shit. And on top of that, so all that money's gone. And now I play risking my life. And if I get the Rona, on top of that, if I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? Oh yeah, that's in my body forever. That damage is not going to be like... The damage that was done to my body, that's going to be there forever. So now I got to play with that on top of that. So y'all got to understand, man, for me to take a pay cut is not happening because the risk is through the roof. It's a shorter season, less pay. Like, bro, yeah, man, I got to get my money. I'm not playing unless I get mine. Okay? And that's just the way it is for me. Like, I'm sorry if you guys think differently, but the risk is way the hell higher and the amount of money I'm making is way lower. Why would I think about doing that? Like, I'm sorry. So in my head, I'm preparing for next season. And I'm actually preparing for right now. But as if I'm preparing for next season. Like, it's super weird, man. More Twitch streams for us, that's facts. But guys, I'm just saying, man, it just doesn't make sense for me to lose all of that money and then go play and then be on lockdown, not around my family, not around the people I love, and get paid way the hell less, and then the risk of injury runs every time I step on the field. So it's not worth it. It's not. I love baseball to death. It's just not worth it.
So, and we've already got people jumping in the chat here. McKinnon said, dude is out there talking like he's going to war. That's a douche move for sure. I get the money thing, but you're a pro athlete. Don't be a priss. And then Michael said, sounds like a tool. So sad you're getting less money. Try unemployment, D-bag. I think that's what most fans are going to think when they hear somebody talk like this. Now, I get all sides of it. I understand not wanting to go out there and get the Rona and whatever, right? I get that. But on the other side of this, like, he just signed a 5-year, $50 million deal. I understand he doesn't get all of that right now. He's still in the early stages of that. He gets more as the years progress. Like, I went and looked up his contract. Like, he gets $11 million next year. It's $10 million this year. It was not as much last season, but he gets $11 million next year, $13 million, and then the last one is like $9 million. So it's, I get the point. But it's, we did get an email from a listener who is up in Chicago, and he said he wanted to jump in on this, but he's not on social media, right? And he listens to the podcast. His name's Scott. He said, my understanding is that the owners proposed that the players take a prorated pay cut to their salaries. The proposal was reviewed and agreed upon by the players back in March. The reason the players don't want a 50-50 revenue split isn't because they're greedy, at least not completely. The players believe they've already made a deal with the owners. Now that the owners have better information regarding just how vast this virus may impact their income, the owners want to walk back their previous agreement with the players and are proposing a new one. There currently isn't a revenue split in baseball. Player contracts aren't based on team or league revenue like the NBA, NHL, or NFL. This is because there's no salary cap. Agreeing to a 50-50 split of revenue by the players would essentially be the players agreeing to a format that leads to a salary cap. It wouldn't necessarily be a pay decrease for the players, but revenue sharing now would open the door for future negotiations and could give the owners leverage during the next CBA. He said, I can sit on the fence with the best of them. I understand both sides. The players believe they've already made a compromise with the owners. If only half of the games are played, the players are only paid half their salaries. The owners believe that the revenue streams may be severely impacted by fans not being in the stands, and they want to make sure that if revenue does in fact tank this season, that they are not on the hook for those lofty salaries that they owe the players. And he goes on to say that he thinks it's absurd that MLB doesn't have a salary cap because, he's a fan of a small market team with the Milwaukee Brewers, excuse me. But it's insane. For players to look at it this way is just kind of crazy to me. Tell me your opinion on this, Chris.
Yeah, no. So I don't know that I made a good enough argument the other day for what I was trying to say when I was crushing the players union for laughing at the proposal. My issue is not with the split, because right now they don't have a split. Okay. They don't have a salary cap, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I think the owners made a bad argument for what they want. All right. I think saying that we have an agreed upon contract, everybody's going to get paid their contract, but it's going to be prorated per amount of games. So instead we played 162. Now we're going to play 81. All right. Yeah. So we're going to pay you half of what we did pay you. I think that is fair. Then they tried to make the argument for all the revenue and stuff. That's when it sounded like they were trying to go towards a revenue split, which is a form of salary cap. And the players said, no, we don't want that. I completely agree with not wanting the salary cap as the players. You've never had one. You fought it so far. I'm not a fan of it because I think it helps parity in the game. But we've also seen a lot of small market teams rebuild through the draft, win championships, and then they blow up their team. It sucks. But if you're a Royals fan, every 10 years you won a championship. Yeah. That's not a bad thing.
Or the Marlins, or the
go call the Marlins. They
Diamondbacks.
won 2 in 6 or 7 years. I mean, but they always blow it up afterwards. And that's just how small market teams have been able to do it. But at least it leads to parity for the most part, there's a good amount of parity in the game when it comes to the final champion. So I'm not a sticking point on the salary cap. I wish there was one because it would even things out. You'd find out who the real smart organizations are and who those are married to the money and can't win without it. And we'll go from there. But I think the players taking 50% of the money for playing 50% of the games is acceptable. It's reasonable ask, and that's all I want. I don't think that is trying to get a salary cap. I don't think that is trying to hurt the players in any way, or if the owners are overpaying a player now, they're going to overpay him for half the work, just like they'd overpay him for a full. Blake Snell is saying he wants his full contract for going out and doing half the work. That guy can EAD, man.
Let's jump into some of these comments. Matt Miller said, "I don't understand the 50% of his salary and then 30% or 33% of that." I don't think he even understood that.
No, he just made a bunch of shit up. And then when you start arguing, and then I got to pay taxes on top, everybody pays taxes. You are not unique. These owners didn't negotiate a screwy tax system for you to hurt you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So nobody cares that you have to pay tax. Whenever you start bringing up, and I got to pay taxes, so I'm really, he uses his words, not mine, not making anything.
Yeah.
This is when you want to take that guy and go beat the hell out of him.
100%. Michael said, "Sorry, I'm not sorry, douche. Does he realize that the people who can't pay their bills pay his salary? Gives a bad name to professional athletes." I think a lot of professional athletes are like this. They don't understand where the money comes from. They don't live in
the real world. They really don't. They are so separated from what really happens on a day-to-day life that it's amazing.
The Brown Yeti said 75% of jobs, the most dangerous part is driving to and from. Same with his job. That's my problem. McKinnon said,
"You're talking to a guy that puts 200 miles a day on his vehicle."
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to one day die in a car accident. It's just statistically possible. It's kind of the reason I don't take care of myself very well.
You were ridiculous. McKinnon said, "Not to cry boo-hoo, but I'm about to head overseas for an extended amount of time for the Army near ground zero for all this Rona shit while my wife is pregnant as well. I guarantee I make a shitload less than the national average, let alone a pro athlete. Just shut his damn mouth up and play ball, dude. Be happy for the opportunity." Yeah, that's what you'd like to see.
He's making us argue for these billionaire owners who most of them are total assholes.
Yes, okay? That's the problem. Right?
You're making these guys look like victims because you are such a prick right now.
Yeah. Matt Miller says, also the owner shouldn't be glorified either. These are billionaires fighting for millionaires, or fighting versus millionaires. Joseph Gomez on YouTube, "No one is going to feel bad for players making $10 million versus $20 million. However, people forget that there's only one owner per team, and they are making $50 million versus $100 million. Did you see that Jerry Jones yacht? Good Lord." Like, Jerry Jones, smart businessman.
Hold on. I'm going to stop him right there. In NFL, it's different. Major League Baseball owners aren't making $100 million a year.
Nope.
Okay. Then those margins are actually pretty lean. These guys are billionaires doing other things.
Yes.
And the baseball team is their toy, which is why some of them are super cheap with it. Not to think that they don't make money, okay, but they don't make $100 million a year per team. That's just not how it goes.
Yeah.
If you're the owner of the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Dodgers, you probably do. Most of the rest of them do not.
No. Not at all.
It is not the NFL where every owner makes equal. NFL owners print cash. They own the team to make a lot of money. What Major League Baseball, the way you own your money and make your money is the evaluation of your team, which is I bought it at $100 million. And right now, if I was to sell it, it'd be worth $800 million. But I don't make any money. I didn't make $700 million. I don't make a dime until I sell the team.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like you can't make money
off of it.
It's a
cost-neutral business, but the evaluation goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
So it's basically an investment. It's a stock.
Small market NBA teams are the same way. Like Robert Parra, the owner of the Grizzlies,
is the exact same way.
Yeah. They work. Their operating budget is not very.
No, they work on real lean margins. The owners are billionaires, yes, but they are not. And that's why I do a good job of actually fighting for owners. I think more times than not, because I don't care how you made your other monies, okay? We're arguing this business here. You're talking to a guy that owns 3 different businesses. And because I do well in one doesn't mean I should take it in the ass on another one.
Right.
Because you didn't have anything to do with this one over here that I made a lot of money in.
Correct.
You had nothing to do with that one.
And that one has nothing to do with this one.
And that one has nothing to do with this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
so
way it
this
goes.
one losing money, I shouldn't make this one pay for it. I shouldn't push these workers harder. Like, they have to be seen as separate. I know the margins are lean in baseball for the most part. I know the Red Sox. I know the Yankees. I know the Dodgers. I'm sure the Cubs. I'm sure there are other market teams that I'm just not, the Cardinals. These teams print cash. If you have a massive fan base that are nationwide or big regional, you print money. Everybody else, they make money as their team evaluates more.
But the operating costs.
They're only rich from their other businesses.
You got that right. Michael said, sounds like another Latrell Sprewell. These guys are so disconnected from reality. Jose said, amen. Michael said, I was law enforcement for 6 years. Not once did I bitch about having to go out and protect people. It's what you sign up for. The Pats crew did quick math. Snell would make $999,000 this season as proposed. Pat's crew, like talking about Pat McAfee. Yeah. That's, I mean, he'd make $1 million this year. Like,
but here's the thing. I think he would actually make more than that. I think his numbers that he's arguing is wrong. I think they're asking them to take a 50% split. They just want it tied to revenue, because if the revenue drops, maybe they can argue making them pay less prorated over the years to make up that money.
He said that's counting taxes, so that would be take-home pay. He would take home $1 million.
No, but I thought he's got like a 5-year, $50 million deal. There's no way he gets $1 million now and then $30 million in 4 years. Like, that doesn't make sense.
No, because they're saying as it's proposed, like with what his numbers are talking about, right?
Oh,
like not necessarily his numbers,
about.
but the proposed MLB stuff, right? Like, if you, I don't know, I think the MLB
proposal was 50%. They want 50%. That's it. I don't know. I think all the other stuff he said after the 50% is bullshit. I think he just made up a bunch of stuff.
So even if it is 50%, let me try and look up his contract.
But he's being asked to work 50% of the games. That's reasonable.
No, I think it's totally reasonable. Hold on. His contract for this season pays him $7.6 million. So he's got a $600,000 signing bonus every season. His base salary this year is $7 million, so his payroll salary is $7.6. Next year it's $11.1, then it's $13.1, and then the last year is $16.6.
This year you were supposed to make $7 million. We're going to pay you $3.5.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay your damn taxes, you asshole. That's part of it.
Like everybody else. Matt said, let's go in together and buy a minor league hockey team. They cost nothing. Like, we could bring the River Kings back to Memphis. Good gracious. Let's see. Michael Fritz said, Matt, can we call him the Murder Hornet? The Memphis Murder Hornets. I'm in. Monster Gaming said, can't wait for 2030 when Phillip Rivers has one kid for each NFL team. Yeah, we're going to get to that point. Just give him a little while. There ain't as much to do in Indianapolis as there is in San Diego. So, I mean, just a guess. Or L.A. for that matter. Michael said, if Snell has a problem with the situation, it's easy. Don't go play. Go get a real job. Nobody's forcing him to play. And that's the thing. Like, he's in a situation where he's made enough money right now. He doesn't have to sit out. I say he's made enough. He made $1.6 million last year.
Here's the thing.
Honestly, he's okay for a little while.
Walk-away money. He hasn't made walk-away money.
Not yet.
But I'm going to tell you this. This is the kind of guy, if he didn't have baseball, which he's crapping on right now, if he didn't have baseball, this guy would be a nobody. He'd be a nut. Now, he's a hell of a pitcher, okay? He is a hell of a baseball player. Let's not make bones about that.
Yeah.
If he didn't have baseball, he would be a nothing. He'd be a nobody. This guy would be worthless.
I'm trying to find what he's made up to this point. Here we go. Career cash earnings.
Not a lot, because he was on his rookie deal.
Let's see.
His $50 million deal is arbitration. It's not even a contract. He's still on his rookie deal.
Over the last 4 seasons, he has made $2.461 million, and he signed a $3 million signing bonus.
So that was his. Yeah.
So he's made over $6 million in the last 4 years.
Yeah. Not a lot. When he gets to his next contract, if he can continue to be the quality of pitcher he is, he'll be $100 million guy.
He's only 27 years old.
Yeah, he'll be $100 million guy if he can keep it up.
But to be fair, like it's $6 million. There's a lot of people in this world that ain't ever going to get close to that.
You're right. But the problem is he's lived a lifestyle being a baseball player. With that $6 million, he's already pissed away. I don't know that he's got any money left.
The Brown Yeti said he probably would start 20 games, so I'll take that money. Matt said yes, talking about the Murder Hornets name. Michael said that's probably like 70% of professional athletes, Chris. They would all be broke without sports. I think a lot of them might be.
I think a lot of them would be, yeah.
But I think, there's enough out there that would be able to excel at other things. There's a good percentage of players in these sports leagues that are smart enough. They use their mental side for the game, but they could use it on other things. So
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. He's not one of them.
I do think 70% is a good number, and you're right. Blake Snell probably not one of them. He's never had to be. He was drafted out of high school, like at Shorewood High School. Like he was a first round draft pick.
There's been guys that come out of high school that were smart as hell. Okay, Kobe Bryant never went to college. All right, he came straight out of high school.
Yeah, but it still took him a little while to like figure these things out, right? Like you still have to grow up. Like I agree
with that. He wasn't this dumb.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Blake Snell went on a public thing that people can find on the internet and rambled about something that he knew was going to get hits, and then knew is pretty easy to fact check. And I'm pretty sure after he said 50%, he just made a bunch of other shit up.
Yeah. Now he did come out. He did tell the newspaper down in Tampa Bay, hey, I know some of the stuff I said wasn't, exactly great, but like, it is a risk for us to play, and I want our normal lives back, and da-da-da. It's like, and you just want to look at it and be like, that's not happening right now.
You want your normal life? Hell, we all want our normal life, okay?
There's
really
over 36.
Want to go sit at a bar and drink a beer.
Yeah, there's 36
That's kind of all I want
people.
Is somebody to wait on me and bring me food and booze until I got to stumble home. Right? That's all I want.
We're the lucky ones right now. We're still getting a paycheck. We are able to do our work.
100%. We're able to work still.
36 million plus people in the United States that have filed for unemployment as of this week. That was
another 2.9. People want to go back to normal life.
Yeah.
We're finding a way to where you can have some normalcy, which is playing baseball again, practicing, training, working out, playing the game every day like you're supposed to be doing. Your body is telling you it's baseball season because this is what you've done your entire life to get to this point.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it. So we're trying to get you back to don't say I want normalcy. We're trying to give you some normalcy. You're the guy saying I want everything.
Yeah.
But you don't get everything. Nobody does.
You are so dead on. This
guy's an ass hat, man. And I like him a lot because he's a great pitcher. I've really liked watching him pitch, but I've lost a lot of respect for the guy. And usually that's what happens, by the way. Usually you hear your heroes talk or you meet them and you realize, oh, these guys are Neanderthals. Like, if it wasn't for this sport that I watched them play on TV, I could care less about this guy. And now my respect and opinion of this dude has just diminished to nothing.
It gone down the drain.
I want to know how Pat McAfee figured out that if he was supposed to get $7 million, his contract this year
would be worth $1 million. I'm going to guess
$900,000. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to guess that is
because even if you take half of it, that's 3.5, and then 30% of that, like that, you're still at over $1 million, and I guess then you tax it. Maybe if you tax $1 million bucks,
if you tax it,
that's probably right, I guess.
But even still, you make $1 million to go out and play, and he's not even pitching in all 82 games.
I'm about to do the math, by the way, on $7 million.
Well, it's 7.6.
Oh, that's a lot more then.
Yeah. So,
all right.
While you're doing that, I'm going to read some of these comments. Michael said Snell's mama needs to beat some sense into him. Matt said you learn how to manage your money as you gain experience in life. Darren McCardle on YouTube jumped in, said, hi, great job. Love your comments here. Michael said, yeah, the whole story I caught the apology. The Brown Yeti said, how many donations does he get streaming? Because this was on his Twitch stream. Like he's apparently on Twitch all the time. I'm going to guess it's fairly significant. He's got a lot of fans.
He's got a revenue stream and I bet he's not just on Twitch, if I had to guess.
Oh, I'm sure he's on
not. So I did some quick math. If you take half of his salary, the 7.6, cut that in half, and then take away another 30%, throw that away, so you still get 70% of that number. And then I taxed him at 45% in taxes. I'm sure he's got some write-offs, okay? But he's a high tax bracket to do, so you're only getting 65% of your whatever. I got $1.7 million.
Well, okay.
Now,
so
that's just how math works.
Well, hold on. McKinnon also tosses in agent fees as well.
Well, I don't know all that bullshit, and he didn't bring up agent fees.
And on top of that, like agent fee typically is 10%.
It's about 1%, 2% now. It's not a lot. It used to be 10.
Yeah, it used to be 10. Now it's like way down.
Hundreds of millions of dollars, so it's small. Now it's like 3%. I don't think it's much.
As far as the stream goes, the Brown Yeti said it's probably more than minimum wage for every hour that he streams. Probably so. Like I'd be willing to bet that it's definitely more than $7.50. Agent fees is what McKinnon said. Michael jumped in. He said, "Good point, Matt. That's why they need someone around to help." And then he said, "No matter how you slice it, Snell is highly overpaid." Now I don't know that he's overpaid.
You
for
give
being
him a
pitcher.
normal 162. He's a dude I'd like on my roster, especially with the contract he's got right now.
100%. Yeah,
I would take
like
him
that.
for the money he's got right now, but I want him to pitch. And then I need a really strong pitcher like Max Scherzer to beat the hell out of him every day. He's not pitching. Tell him to shut up.
Tell him to shut up. You've got that right. Let's dive into another topic here. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis came out and said that the state will welcome pro teams that cannot play in their own states. He's already spoken with the AD at Florida State and the AD at Florida, and those two stadiums will be open for, I'm going to guess, NFL teams. They didn't specify, but those stadiums will be open for those teams. Along with that, you've still got tons of other. You've got I understand the Jaguars are playing in Jacksonville. I get that. Tampa Bay also. There's a ton of different places where you can play.
You have Central Florida. You've got Boca.
You've got Orlando. You've got
plenty of places in Florida to house any. If Seattle can't open, if the California teams can't open, and they want to relocate to the sunny, East Coast, we got a spot for them.
And I think it is genius, right? Darren McCardle said, "Are his stats worth the pay?" Talking about Blake Snell.
Correct.
Yes,
they are.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to tell you, he's a hell of a pitcher. They are.
Yeah,
they are.
and going rate for pitchers is especially pitchers that do what he does, really high. So yeah, he's worth the money.
Yeah. He's making substantially less than Strasburg than some of these top tier pitchers, and he is a top tier pitcher. He just doesn't have the fame and the name yet because he's in Tampa.
And he's young. I mean,
he's young too. He's young, has nothing to do with it. He's been in the league for 4 years.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm saying. Like 4 years is nothing for some of these guys. Right? Like, there's some guys that come in and fire it up.
4 years is a lot. If you ain't made it in 4 years in baseball, you're not making it.
Agreed. But he has been on a major league roster for 4 years, and that's a pretty big deal. So, and then Michael said overpaid in the sense of playing sports for millions of dollars. Technically, yes. If you're going down that route, 100%, yes. Most athletes.
Last year he was terrible. So basically, in 2018 was his monster year that I'm talking about. Started 31 games, won 21, went 21-5 with a 1.89 ERA. That is nasty. And that's what I was remembering and thinking. 2019, started 23 games, 6-8 with a 4.3 ERA.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. That's definitely not good.
Well,
the Rays were a lot better in 2018 than they were in 2019, so.
No, in 2019 is when they made the playoff game last year. They made the wild card playoff game, right?
I didn't think so.
We were on with TJ. Remember that night he was stuck in traffic? That had to be last year.
Oh, I guess it was. Yeah, you're right. I'll be damned.
Well, in 2018, the Red Sox won the series, and the Tampa Bay was terrible.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense.
I'm thinking. So maybe he's not worth all that. I just remember his 2018 season, and that year.
Well, last year was the first year of the contract. So
in 2017 to market, 2017 started 24 games, went 5-7 with a 4 ERA, so not great either. So.
Well, but then in 2018 when he had that monster year is when he was in a contract year.
That's what. Yeah, it was a contract year,
and he got his money. So
you know what? There's some players that only show up on contract years. So
I mean, who knows? He's only had one contract year. So
well, yeah, that's right.
But we'll see. We'll see.
He's got to get better than what he has. But anyway, neither here nor there. Maybe he might not be worth the money and the pain in the ass, because I was thinking that 2018 year, I knew this dude was a stud.
Well, here's the other thing. Taking this away from just him, he's not the only one that feels this way.
True, like, he's the only one dumb enough to say it publicly, but yeah.
Jared Carabas, the guy for Barstool that used to play in the MLB, said he agrees 100%.
Well, he doesn't play anymore, and whatever. I don't know, man.
Agreed, but what I'm saying is there's other guys that are not going to say it publicly.
Yes.
But they agree, and they want
Plenty
their
of
money.
them feel this way. That's why I say they're disconnected.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right, move on. The Florida thing.
Well, Michael said Snell probably pays less taxes than most, right? No state income tax in Florida. Yeah, Chris and I were talking about that before we came on. Yeah, there's no state income, but he still has federal. And he's in a higher tax bracket.
State income tax is a small amount.
Yeah. I mean,
unless you live in California. So I got to ask you a question. So let's say the 49ers and the LA Rams, the LA Chargers say, we'll take you up on that. And they play the entire season in Florida.
Yep.
Okay. If I'm that player, can I claim Florida as the residency and be taxed in Florida instead of California? Because that state income tax difference is a lot of damn money. Jimmy G would recognize the difference in taxes that he would pay from that.
Well, let me think here. It would depend on if you still have a place of residence in California.
No, because you can have residence in multiple places.
Well, it's if you live in the state of Florida for the season and your paychecks are coming to Florida, yeah, 100%. Like I think every player. I think
you would have to officially claim that as your resident, but I mean it's as simple as this is where I live now, and the other house is a vacation home. I mean that's not hard to do.
Yeah. Michael said, "Amen, Chris. Income tax is ridiculous." Yeah, especially in California. Good gracious. McKinnon said the Florida call makes a shitload of sense, seeing as the stadiums across the state for all sports are typically never full. They lose tons in ticket revenue that can absolutely make up the difference in ticket sales if they charge the pro teams to use the facilities. 100%. Like in Orlando, that's
if we get fans, obviously.
Well, no. Just to charge the team for using the facilities.
The facility, yeah. No, you're getting something. Those colleges are getting something.
Yeah, so like
which is nice. I'll tell you this: if I was a college, I'd be pissed off at that. I'm in like Louisiana. Nobody's coming to Baton Rouge to play. Nobody's going to West Monroe, all right, to host their NFL team. But
there you go. Matt said you pay state taxes in the state you played in, like if you did work in Tennessee and then in Mississippi. Yeah.
I don't think. Yes, when I worked in Tennessee, they took out.
I work in Tennessee and I pay Mississippi state income tax.
I was about to say, I think it's where you live. They will take it out of your money. You get it all back if you don't live there.
Yeah. Game in California, let's see, you pay for their taxes on that game. Then a game in Illinois, you pay that state tax. I don't think that's right.
No, if you're a visiting player, when the Patriots go to play in San Francisco, their game check is not taxed at California's rate.
All right, so here's Matt Miller said, this is what the internet says regarding pay non-resident income taxes for the state in which you work. You pay non-resident income tax for the state in which you work and resident income taxes for the state in which you live while filing income tax returns for both states. So, like for me, I don't have to file Tennessee because there is no state income tax, but I live in Mississippi, so.
But even if you did, because you don't live there, you would get 100% of it back. Yeah. They would take it out of your check because they automatically take it out of your check. At the end of the year, you will get that back. Yeah, you probably could fight them and taking it out of your check. It'd just be a pain in the ass. But if you're a multimillionaire, it'd be worth fighting to get it out of your check.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So I'm sure that the NFL has that all figured out.
Yeah, like, if I was Jimmy G, I would be calling up Tommy B right now and be like, you want to get the Wolfpack back together? And we room in that palace that you're living in of Derek Jeter's.
100%. 100%. I think Matt said watch Broke on ESPN. Okay. Hey, that's something I'll go back and watch. Because I am intrigued by it now. Like I had not put a whole lot of thought into it, but that is definitely an interesting thing. I mean, when you think about how complicated money is, I mean, it's just absurd. It's like, does it really have to be like this? I don't think it does.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. You're talking to a guy that believes that this is all bullshit. But
what Michael said, the government always wins. Yeah, he said the government always wins. Yeah, 100%. 100% they do.
We can make the most even tax possible. I'm about to go on a tangent here for just 3
seconds. Go ahead.
We can make the easiest and most even tax. The rich get taxed more, the poor get taxed less, but everybody pays something. If we did away completely with all income tax and everything, and we just upped our taxes of goods and services, all sales taxes were inflated. So therefore, when you're a rich guy, and you go out and you buy rich guy shit all the time, you're going to pay more in taxes. And if you're a broke person and you buy broke guy shit all the time, you're going to pay less in taxes. And now we're all paying. And if you're a tightwad, even if you make a lot of money, but you don't want to pay a lot in taxes, don't buy shit. Just don't buy shit.
Yeah. I think that's what most people say anyway.
You pay
right?
in taxes.
Like the financial independence people always tell you, like, just spend below your means all the time, right?
Yeah. Now you control it, and everybody is taxed fairly. If you're poor and you live rich, that's your fault. 100%. You paid a lot in taxes, but that was your choice.
Yeah, you decided what you want. Well, how do you feel about like if there was a set income tax across the country, like say it was 10% for everybody or whatever? No, out on that. Okay, I like your idea of everybody having the choice. Probably
rising tide floats all boats. We all pay the same amount. Doesn't matter.
There you go.
We're all going to pay the same percentage that way.
Yeah,
you're not buying a TV cheaper than me, but your TV might be $4,000 or $5,000. If you're a rich guy, it might be $20,000, and my TV might cost $200.
Yeah.
What? We paid appropriate amount in taxes.
There you go.
Based on how we live.
Matt Miller said a lot of athletes end up broke because they grew up without it and they didn't grow up around it either, so they don't know how to use it. And then Michael said
they also have it stolen from them too.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Money managers,
all that crap, family, everything. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Shit, yeah. That handout, that entourage ain't no joke, man.
No, it's going to cost you to keep some friends around. Michael said taxes and death only guarantees in life. 100%. And Alabama field goal kickers missing missing very important field goals. So, we'll keep up with that. All right, so I like this idea of Florida doing this. I mean, obviously, we're really focusing on like the California teams right now. If the
I
Dodgers,
can't imagine any other state doing it. I mean, New England might have to. The New York teams might have to.
Maybe Washington, and then definitely we're focusing on California right now because I mean they just extended. Maybe New York, maybe New Jersey,
Seattle, the New York teams, and New England. I mean, I could see those. I can't see anybody in the Midwest or the South needing this, but that's okay because they don't have enough for everybody to move down there. They just got enough. But I'll tell you this: if all 3 California teams need a place to go, they got enough spot. They got 3 spots.
Yeah.
If both New York teams need a place to go, shit, New Yorkers live in they would have the biggest fan bases. I promise you, the Jets would sell more games in California and Florida than they would in New York.
Oh, 100%.
There's nothing but New Yorkers down there. That's where they all go.
Exactly. It'd be great for the Giants.
Yeah.
Probably pretty good for the Jets. I think more
better for
older
the Jets than the Giants.
Yeah.
Most Giants fans come out for games still. Jets fans, they don't even show up anymore.
Jets fans are all, they were all fans back in the 60s and 70s.
They didn't show up anymore.
But that's because they're all in Florida.
That's right. That's right.
That might work. Ben said then the athletes steal crab legs once they go broke. Always got to toss in them Jameis references. Always tossing in them Jameis references. All right, let's close out today's show on this last topic here. The Browns apparently tried to get Russell Wilson back in 2018. Now, Chris, you and I talked about this. This was news.
This has become a thing recently. I don't know why. I saw it pop up yesterday or this morning.
Yeah, it was this morning. It was this morning.
And I saw 2 or 3 different places shared out.
Well, CBS Sports has it's their number one trending topic.
This.
Like it's insane. So
I remember you and I talking about this.
Yeah.
And how I thought, and then everyone was like, well, that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I was like, well, if they can't make the trade work, then you just sign him as a free agent because he was going to be a free agent after that. That's when he got paid, got his money after the year after that, 2019.
Four-year, $140 million deal.
And I thought, well, maybe the Browns can just get him as a free agent.
But then the Browns
this is when they took Baker. I was against the Baker pick when it happened. I was very public about that. And so, yeah.
So
the Browns had a chance to have Russell.
The Browns contend that the trade was discussed conceptually per Pro Football Talk, but acknowledged privately the discussion did indeed happen. The inclusion of a no-trade clause in Wilson's eventual big money extension with Seattle, in fact, stemmed in part from chatter regarding the potential trade to Cleveland, according to Mike Florio. In 2018, of course, the Browns were still eyeing a franchise quarterback, with the team ultimately using the number 1 pick on current starter Baker Mayfield. The Seahawks, meanwhile, were coming off their first season without a playoff appearance in 6 years, and the first and only time Seattle has missed the postseason with Wilson at quarterback. So both teams didn't make the playoff. Seattle wasn't sure if he was going to be their franchise guy long-term, which was just absurd.
What Seattle was doing was they made a hell of a run with the rookie quarterback on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
And they were just doing math thinking, do we like building a team this way? Do we think we can replace him? Maybe not with somebody just as good, but
somebody on a rookie deal, and we can continue to
on
pay.
A rookie deal is what helped us win those Super Bowls and compete for those Super Bowls. It wasn't the great play of the quarterback. It was the rookie deal.
Yeah, because
we were able to build the team the rest of the way out, the way we needed to. So it was a math thing for them, and I get it. And, what sucks is I don't know if Russell would have. If he says now he put a no-trade clause in his deal because of the rumblings of this, that means that he would have flown the coop. The Browns would have had him for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then he would have been gone. And
I think it's fair to say that, and maybe he would have gotten there and loved it, right?
That's right. Maybe he would have changed his mind once he got there.
But I think it's fair to say that, there's not a lot of hope, high-profile athletes that want to play in Cleveland. That was LeBron's problem, right? For whatever reason, Cleveland is not exactly looked well upon, right?
Okay. Is it any different than Green Bay or Indianapolis or Cincinnati?
No, but that's the thing. You have to trade.
When was the last high-profile free agent Pittsburgh got? Like the Steelers are a marquee franchise, and nobody really wants to go play there.
Agreed.
They're just really good at developing in-house talent.
Yeah, or if they do want to go there, it's just to play.
It's at the very end of their career. Yeah, it's at the back end of their career, and they don't have a lot of options sometimes at the end. But that's a good place to play. I just think these guys want to live in big cities. I just think they do. And if your town's in a big city, you can be it. Houston's great. Seattle's great. Dallas is great. You don't have to just be LA and New York. You can be in a big city elsewhere. Atlanta's probably great.
Yeah.
But I think middle of the country. I mean, no big time free agents are going to Carolina. Okay. Teddy Bridgewater. Come on now. I mean, that's like the biggest signee they've ever had.
Interesting part about this CBS article, by the way. It says it's not hard to suggest this was a case of Cleveland taking a swing at Wilson rather than Seattle looking to unload its quarterback, even with a lucrative contract looming at the time. But Florio said Thursday that some close to the situation still believe the Super Bowl winning signal caller will eventually be traded. With Wilson publicly hinting he wants to play until he's 45 and Seattle on the hook for close to $40 million per year towards the end of his contract, some think it's just a matter of time before the Seahawks move on. Doing so, of course, would rob the team of the biggest and arguably sometimes only reason Seattle has been a consistent playoff contender. The 31-year-old Wilson, a 7-time Pro Bowler, has been both remarkably durable and productive for his entire 9-year NFL career, never once missing a start and throwing at least 30 touchdowns in 4 of his last 5 seasons.
And like Tom Brady, like Aaron Rodgers, no talent around him offensively.
He's got some They got some new weapons now.
They just got DK Metcalf last year. And that doesn't count because you have 1 year of that.
They've got – so they signed –
Don't give me Tyler Lockett.
No, I was going to say they just signed Philip Dorsett.
Okay. Oh, God.
So, which, I mean, we'll see.
The Patriots cut Philip Dorsett. He couldn't make that shitty roster.
No. He didn't get cut. He had a 1-year deal with the Patriots last year.
But he's been with them for 2. They could have signed him for another 1 year.
Right, but they signed him for a 3-year deal, and then he signed on for another 1-year deal, and he had the option of signing a 1-year deal with the Patriots or with the Seahawks, and he went to the Seahawks. I'm just telling you, I would have gone with the Seahawks too because it's a better quarterback. At the end of the day, neither one of them really wanted. They both made him the same offer. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
He just walked away from a terrible team to a not terrible team. Philip Dorsett is not a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Carson, good. Chris Carson's not great. Chris Carson's great because Russell Wilson's great.
DK Metcalf, pretty good.
I think DK Metcalf's the goods.
Yeah, I think he can be really good.
That's the first weapon they've ever gone out and gotten him.
Well, I mean, they got him a running back like Rashad Penny a couple of years ago, but like
and didn't work out.
No, well, no, because
none of them have been good.
No, but
they have not gotten any weapons on offense ever. That is
they're talking about re-signing Marshawn Lynch.
Not good, not good.
McKinnon said, "Got to hop off. See you gents tomorrow. Have a good night, War Damn Eagle." Like, get out of here with that Auburn shit, man. Michael said, "Never been to Cleveland, but haven't heard anything good. I'm sure it can't be that bad."
Cleveland's actually very, very nice.
Downtown
Cleveland is so different than it used to be. I started going up to Cleveland, I don't know, about 17 years ago. And
you married into it.
It has changed so much in the 17 years that I've been going up there.
I can imagine. I
will tell you, downtown Cleveland is really nice. Really, really nice. Not bullshit nice. Real nice.
I don't think like a lot of these cities that get bad
raps. It's not
high
end now, okay? It's not snooty. Normal people can hang out there and feel normal and cool.
See, that's like Memphis gets a really bad rap in the NBA.
Memphis is shitty compared to Memphis is shitty.
If you're gonna compare it to like Miami and Los Angeles and stuff like
I'm
that.
I'm comparing it to Cleveland. It's shitty. I'm comparing it to Atlanta. It's shitty.
Because it's not as big.
No.
But what
Bill
I'm saying
Street
is
sucks now.
Well,
it's shitty.
Yeah, I'll give you that. There are spots in Memphis that are nicer. Like I like Overton Square. I like
Midtown, but you're not anywhere near those when you're downtown.
Well, okay, that's true. You got a valid point. I'm trying to stick up for my city a little bit, man.
You got to get a car and drive. You're a tourist.
I think that
the whole area of Cleveland, downtown Cleveland, is big. Okay,
yeah,
it is 4 times the size of downtown Memphis, easily.
Agreed.
Maybe 5-6 times the size of downtown Memphis. Okay, it's big. In the entire area, they got 3 professional stadiums down there. They've got a theater district, not the Orpheum Theater. They've got a district of 7 or 8 different theaters. They've got restaurants everywhere. They've got a small casino down there. Like, it is nice. It is really nice.
Yeah. Memphis ain't got any of that. Memphis
Nothing.
Has got the Orpheum
Memphis has
downtown.
one street, and that street has gotten shitty.
And then over at Overton Square, they've got what is it? Not the Halloran. What's the? God, they've got 2 different theaters over there. They've got Ballet Memphis. They got all these different things to do. Like what they did to Overton Square.
Midtown, I understand. No tourists can get there.
They should have built all that stuff that's in Midtown. They should have built it downtown.
Yeah, tourists can't get there. So that would be like me telling you Cleveland Heights is really nice. Yeah, Cleveland Heights is like the Germantown for us Memphis folk. I'm getting really local here. But like people coming from outside, flying into Cleveland, going to a ball game, so that's a 45-minute drive away from downtown. Nobody's going there.
Yeah.
So you can't include that in the nice. You got to tell tourists where to go. All right. And in Cleveland, you show up and go. And I literally went to a football game. And the day before that, I went to a baseball game. I walked to both of them. And I walked to a bar and a restaurant before and after both of them. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Michael said, my only issue with Cleveland were the bandwagon Mayfield fans in Denver a couple of years ago. Jerseys still had wrinkles from being brand new.
Well, he's a rookie, so that's just part of it. I mean, you're going to get new – everybody's going to go out with a Burrow jersey. I don't know if that means they're a bandwagon fan. Those guys are just idiots if they're just believing he's the second coming.
Oh, he's absolutely
I hope he's good. I don't know that he's ever going to be great. I just want him to be good.
Yeah, and Mayfield, remember he was Joe Burrow is not Baker Mayfield. He doesn't have the same attitude. You don't see all the same press clippings and all that. Baker Mayfield had more in common with Johnny Football than he does with Joe Burrow. So that's what
better
made
football
people,
player than Johnny, but
yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
Baker became mainstream famous because of his mouth.
Yep.
That's all it is. Jose jumped in and said Metcalf has game. 100% we agree with that. So
no, DK's a stud.
But yeah, what would your prediction have been had Russell Wilson gone to the Browns? Would they have been able to?
Totally different. The whole world would be changed. Our coach would be different. Because I'm going to tell you this: Wilson would have come in, and he would have immediately. Hugh Jackson would have been gone immediately. He would have went to somebody in the front office and said, "We got to get leadership. Leadership's the most important thing. Culture and leadership. We got to change it." They would have hired somebody else. It would have been an outside hire. They would have cleaned house. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know who they would have gotten, but there's no doubt Russell Wilson's going to walk in and he's going to tell the organization, you want to keep me, you have to do some certain – you have to start acting like a professional organization, and these guys aren't it. And you got to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So it's hard to predict how that would have worked. I'm going to tell you this. Russell Wilson, I don't care who's calling plays. I really don't. With the offense that we had last year, that's a playoff team. That's a 10-11 win team.
Talent-wise, 100%. The Browns with Russell Wilson at quarterback, that Browns
Odell
team.
Beckham, Landry, and Njoku maybe never gets hurt because he doesn't get hung out to dry on a crazy-ass pass he's got to go up and break his neck on.
You got Nick Chubb. You got
Chubb's the
Kareem
best
Hunt.
running back he's ever had. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch in his prime was probably pretty good, but he wasn't really in his prime when Russell got there.
No.
It was all before Russell.
I don't know. Right when Russell got there, I think, right when he was drafted, I think is when Marshawn Lynch was in his prime. I think that's when the whole beast mode thing started.
Beast mode game, that was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, but that was in Russell Wilson's. No, it wasn't. That was Hasselbeck, wasn't it?
That was Hasselbeck. Russell Wilson just signed his rookie deal last year. Ended his rookie deal and signed a new deal.
I will say this: Marshawn Lynch
been there 4 years.
Marshawn Lynch in that Super Bowl where they didn't hand the ball to him and whatnot. He was still.
He was still beast mode in name, but he wasn't great that year. He was okay that year.
You might have a valid point there. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Is there anything else we need to talk about today?
Nope, let's get out of here.
You guys in the comments have been great as usual. As always, go and check out the website. Make sure you are subscribed everywhere. Share out the show. Leave some comments, nice reviews, all that wonderful stuff. We will be back again tomorrow with all of the whatever news that ends up coming out. Hey, before we leave, I had to read something for you right quick. I'm glad I remembered this because holy crap! So I watched the UFC fights last night, and man, I was floored at that Glover Teixeira fight last night. You didn't watch it, did you?
Nope.
All right, so Glover Teixeira beat the absolute dog crap out of Anthony Smith last night. And let's see. Where was it? All right, so first off, here, I thought this was really cool. I'm going to play this and let you hear it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play it, and then I'll tell you what he said.
Teixeira saying he's giving up Glover.
So they have to play the job.
What?
So they play the job.
Yeah, it is what it is, buddy.
So that's in the middle of the fight. Glover said, sorry, Anthony, it's part of the job. And he said, what? And he said, sorry, part of the job. Smith said, yeah, it is what it is. Look, that fight should have been called 2 rounds.